Good day, viewers. Welcome to Construction IQ. Today we follow the story of one remarkable woman, a builder who turns raw ground into something beautiful, using her own two hands. On day one, the woman has just started working on bare ground. She clears and levels the land, shaping it with patience and strength. Every inch is prepared with care, because strong work begins with a steady base. Bricks and stones are placed with measured hands. Bricks and stones are placed with measured hands. Cement is mixed and spread in even layers. It's slow, patient work. No machines, no shortcuts. Just focus and perseverance. Each section is aligned, leveled, and left to set. Day two captures the measure of patience as the builder checks her work. She knelt beside the frame, tracing each line again. She's verifying her measurements, ensuring alignment and stability. The frame could refer to the wooden or metal base outlining the oven's foundation. This is precision work after rough digging. She's checking, adjusting, refining details like levels, symmetry, and edges. The repetition reflects discipline. Day three captures the transformation from effort to mastery, the stage where the physical strain begins to carry emotional meaning. Visible progress appears. She's packing and compacting the mix, soil, gravel, or foundation mortar, making it firm and durable. The structure starts to hum with purpose. This is when the build begins to stabilize. Day four marks a moment of visible transformation and emotional affirmation in the build. It's where the work shifts from foundation to form and from isolation to recognition. The materials come together. Wood met stone, stone met earth. Describes the integration of structure, the assembly of wooden frames, stone walls, and the earth base. It implies that the skeleton of the outdoor kitchen or oven is taking shape, each material layered and locked into the other. Footings set, the concrete or stone bases are now firm and level. Stones aligned, she's begun carefully arranging the stonework, ensuring precision and balance. This is delicate, detailed work. Day five captures a quiet yet powerful turning point in the build, when the project starts to move from preparation to true construction. The builder begins the meticulous task of preparing the timber. With a steady hand and trained precision, she uses a chainsaw to split the large logs lengthwise. Once the log is halved, it's transported to the building site. Every piece of wood has a role in the structure she is crafting. With the chainsaw, she trims and squares the ends, ensuring that each beam will fit perfectly when assembled. Using a handheld electric planer, she smooths the wood, removing uneven edges and bark remnants. Once rough timber begins to take on a polished finish, ready to become part of a sturdy kitchen frame. Before any cutting begins, she takes precise measurements, marking the wood carefully, mapping out where joints, cuts, and connections will be formed. These markings serve as a blueprint, guides that transform raw logs into interlocking parts of a solid frame. Once the logs are aligned and ready, she begins shaping them for joinery. Using a chainsaw, she trims the ends and squares off excess wood, forming clean edges that will fit smoothly into the structure. After days of groundwork and foundation work, she's finally building vertically. The structure begins to gain visible height and dimension, moving from groundwork to formation. The walls are being laid brick by brick, slowly and by hand. By noon, the wall building process becomes fluid. After some early adjustments, she finds a consistent rhythm. Laying, aligning, securing. The structure is now visibly emerging, stable and coherent. Each placement is deliberate, guided by instinct more than measure. At this stage, she's no longer relying strictly on tools or measurements. Experience, touch, and intuition are guiding her hands. This is the moment where craftsmanship becomes second nature. Building the structure. Now the walls begin to rise, one brick, one layer, one day at a time. She lifts, places, and balances each piece carefully, making sure every line is true. The form begins to emerge, doorways, corners, and outlines taking shape. This is where hard work becomes visible progress, where persistence begins to look like creation. If you're inspired by her journey and want to see more incredible hand-built projects, take a moment to subscribe to Construction IQ and turn on the notification bell so that you will never miss another story of skill, strength, and craftsmanship. By evening, the day's work reveals tangible progress. The walls stand, not complete, but undeniably real. It's the first full glimpse of the structure as a form, the dream starting to speak through the work itself. Exterior. With the structure standing, protection comes next. She lifts and secures each beam, measuring and adjusting by hand. Roof sheets are aligned and fastened carefully, sealing her work against the open sky. Outside, she smooths and shapes the walls, refining every corner. It's patient, focused work, and it shows in every clean edge and curve. structure expands. More brickwork, more framing. What began as isolated sections now start to connect. She works now with calm mastery, the type of quiet determination that doesn't demand attention but radiates steadiness. Reinforcing, aligning, and securing the work so it can stand strong for everything that will come next. She spends this day making sure what has been built so far is true, straight, level, and strong. This includes tasks like reinforcing joints, tightening frames, adjusting lines, and correcting minor imperfections. It's not about adding more height. It's about ensuring what's already standing can stay standing. Tools like the level, measuring tape, string line, or square are used repeatedly. Rather than rushing to build more walls, she inspects the existing ones, confirms measurements, and makes subtle but important adjustments. She added mortar, braces, or supports where it was needed. Day 11 is when the story reaches a transitional phase. The foundation and walls are complete, and the focus shifts toward definition and character, bringing function, beauty, and finishing touches into view. She centers on preparing surfaces for finishing, smoothing rough walls, filling joints, shaping edges. She might be plastering, leveling, or laying finer layers of mortar. Each feature adds intention to the build. Every small addition hints at how the space will live once it's finished. Up to this point, she's been shaping walls, surfaces, and form. But now she's building the heart of the structure, the oven itself. She focuses on shaping the oven's curved dome, likely using a mix of clay, sand, straw, and ash. She's now layering, molding, and smoothing the material by hand, crafting the inner cavity that will later hold fire and heat. She mixed clay and ash, hands coated in the texture of creation itself. Each movement is deliberate, ensuring the dome won't crack when heated. By the end of the day, the dome's outline is complete. It's still drying, still fragile, but it now resembles the heart of what will make the place truly alive. Day 13 is about patience, trust, and invisible progress. It's when the structure itself takes over. After shaping the clay dome on day 12, the builder cannot continue adding or firing yet. On day 12, the builder cannot continue adding or firing yet. The material needs to dry and cure slowly. If rushed, the clay could crack or collapse. Laying finer layers of mortar. She measures and cuts shelves, ledges, and openings for cooking or ventilation. She observes how light lands on surfaces, how the shadows fall, adjusting small details accordingly. She continues with sanding, smoothing, or applying the first coat of plastering. Day 12 is one of the most symbolic and transformative moments in the entire construction journey. Up to this point, she's been shaping walls, surfaces, and form. But now she's building the heart of the structure, the oven itself. She focuses on shaping the oven's curved dome, likely using a mix of clay, sand, straw, and ash, ensuring the dome won't crack when heated. By the end of the day, the dome's outline is complete. It's still drying, still fragile, but it now resembles an oven, the heart of what will make the place truly alive. Day 13 is about patience, trust, and invisible progress. Final finishing and completion. In the final phase, everything comes together. She cleans, polishes, and prepares the space for its new life. Outside, she arranges stones and plants, blending the build back into the land it rose from. A creation built entirely by one woman's hands, guided by patience and purpose. The sun settles over the garden, the builder turns her attention to a humble yet rewarding task: harvesting peanuts. With patience and care, she lifts each plant from the soil, uncovering the treasures hidden beneath the earth. A basket slowly fills with freshly gathered peanuts, their shells still coated in soil, a sign of nature's purity. Each handful is a reminder that the land always rewards those who nurture it. Before these peanuts can be enjoyed, they must be cleaned. The builder gently clears off dirt and sorts them with a practiced hand, ensuring only the best are kept for the kitchen. A simple outdoor washing setup brings them to life. Water flows over the pile of peanuts as she rinses away the last traces of soil, leaving them fresh and ready for cooking. It's a beautiful blend of simplicity and resourcefulness. The builder gently arranges small pieces of dry wood inside the fire chamber. Striking a match to spark the first flame, a soft glow begins to breathe life into the newly built stove, the first test of her craftsmanship. The flames rise stronger, crackling with energy as the wood begins to burn steadily. Heat swirls within the chamber, confirming that the internal airflow system is working as designed. This is more than fire. It's the moment of truth for her long hours of construction. White smoke rushes smoothly through the chimney outlet, rising high into the air. The clean upward flow reveals that the chimney draft and dual chamber structure are functioning perfectly, letting smoke escape efficiently without filling the cooking area. With confidence, the builder places a cooking pot on the stove surface to test the heat distribution. The solid structure radiates warmth, showing how effectively the stove retains and channels heat, a sign of fuel efficiency and smart design. The stove now burns with a steady, powerful flame, proof that her handmade double wood-fired stove is fully operational. What began as bricks and mortar has now become a reliable, fuel-saving cooking system, built with patience, skill, and dedication. Night has gently fallen over the homestead, and the outdoor kitchen now glows with warm light. The soft bulbs illuminate the natural wood and clay finishes, turning the space into a peaceful, welcoming haven. The builder sits beside her handcrafted stove, taking a quiet breath of satisfaction. After long hours of labor, this moment reflects the calm pride that comes when hard work meets accomplishment. Lights shimmer across the kitchen as the evening ambience fully comes to life. The space feels warm and alive, no longer just a structure, but a home infused with comfort and purpose. With the stove complete and the kitchen beautifully lit, the builder begins preparing to test her new creation. This is the moment she has worked towards, where craftsmanship meets function. Everything is set, the atmosphere is calm, the kitchen is glowing, and the handmade wood-fired stove stands proudly in its place. And there you have it, a full journey from open ground to a finished hand-built structure. If you've enjoyed watching this project take shape, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to follow more inspiring builds from Construction IQ. Thank you for watching. This is Construction IQ, where every build tells a story.